Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? As the band enters the parade deck, we ask that you refrain from crossing the parade deck or crossing in front of the reviewing stand. If you must cross, please go to the far ends. Once you have reached the seating area, we ask that you remain seated in the bleachers. Feel free to take photographs or videos from anywhere in that area. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you turn off all electronic devices, and we encourage the use of all waste receptacles for waste disposal while aboard Marine Corps Recruit Depot. Thank you for your cooperation and enjoy today's ceremony. For over 90 years, Marine Band San Diego has thrilled and inspired countless millions throughout the country with its inspiring renditions of patriotic music, classical literature, big band tunes top 40 favorites, and of course the marches of John Philip Sousa. The 50 fully combat-trained Marines of the band, some of whom have been forward deployed to Iraq, perform in many different ensembles to include concert band, marching band, brass quintet, jazz combo, rock band, and party band. Marine Band San Diego performs at military and civilian ceremonies and provides honors for visiting dignitaries. Among the band's most popular performances are the nationally televised Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade, Disney Christmas Day Parade, the Northern California Scottish Highland Games, the Veterans Day episode of The Price is Right, San Diego Chargers and Padres games, and annual summer and winter concerts. Altogether, the band performs over 500 performances each year. We invite you to follow Marine Band San Diego on Facebook and YouTube. The band is under the leadership of the band officer, Chief Warrant Officer 2, Stephanie Wire, and the bandmaster, Master Sergeant Raul Caldera. Today, the band is led on the march by Gunnery Sergeant Devin Van, drum major, and is under the direction of Gunnery Sergeant Gary Robinson, enlisted conductor. Pre-ceremony music for today's parade was provided by Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. The Marine Corps has played an active role in San Diego history ever since Marines from the sloop of war Cyane seized Old Town during the Mexican-American War in 1846. Marines have been stationed at the Recruit Depot since 1921, when most of the buildings to your front were constructed. These buildings, known as the Arcade, were designed by the world-famous architect Bertram Goodhue, and are outstanding examples of Spanish colonial revival architecture. The Arcade is among 25 buildings that have qualified for inclusion on the National Register of Historic Places. Since 1923, more than 1 million Marines have completed their recruit training here at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. And since 1915, at the Marine Corps' East Coast Recruit Training Depot at Parris Island, South Carolina. Regardless of where a Marine attended his boot camp, you can rest assured that he received the toughest and most physically and mentally demanding recruit training offered anywhere in the world. Some of the individual techniques and methods may have evolved over the years, but the focus and adherence to our core values of honor, courage, and commitment are as strong today as any time in our past. Today, the men of Company L accept their responsibilities to safeguard this proud tradition as they step forward to join this rich heritage. Ahead of them lie bright futures that will no doubt add to the proud Marine legacy that they now rightfully claim as their own. The term double dog is used today as a friendly reference between Marines. The nickname was first given to Marines by the Germans in World War I at the Battle of Belleau Wood. Major General Smedley Butler introduced the first bulldog as a Marine mascot in 1921. Since that time, many devil dogs have served our Corps, providing esprit and boosting morale. Corporal Bella is a 4-year-old full-blooded English bulldog. She arrived from Texas to the depot in 2009. She is under the care of the Public Affairs Office and is being escorted by Lance Corporal Tyler M. Biglione.
Double dog, right?
Spiritual development plays an important part in the making of a United States Marine. Lieutenant Jared W. Johnson, Chaplain Corps, United States Navy, will deliver the graduation prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise.
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we pause this morning and we give you thanks for all who have brought us to this very proud day, for these newest Marines of LIMA Company and their willingness to serve, for these families and friends who offer their continual love and support, and for our drill instructors, our staff, and their families, whose sacrifices and tireless efforts continually shape and strengthen our Corps. Father, you have brought these young men, these newest Marines, from all walks of life. And this morning we know that they depart here to serve in all corners of the globe. So we ask that wherever their service takes them, and whatever their duties demand of them, that you would be faithful to them. As you've been faithful here in these proving grounds of recruit training, may they find you faithful in follow-on training, in future assignments, and in overseas deployments. We ask that whether in peacetime or in battle, that you would watch over their lives, you would empower their service, and you would enable them to be that which you are, O God, Semper Fidelis. In your strong and faithful name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Please be seated. The Commanding General, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego welcomes you to what is a historic event in the life of a Marine, his graduation from boot camp. Approximately 42 weeks each year for the past 92 years, new Marines have departed San Diego for service with units of the Marine Corps around the globe. The primary mission of the Recruit Depot is to provide basic training to all male recruits enlisted west of the Mississippi, which represents approximately 51% of all male applicants in the Marine Corps each year. The depot is also home to the Recruiter School, which trains all Marine Corps recruiters, and Drill Instructor School, where the Marines who instruct the recruits are trained. All our efforts here are geared toward one end, producing America's finest fighting man, the United States Marine. This morning, Company L, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Recruit Training Regiment, will form and march in the parade. Following the passing review, the graduating Marines will return front and center of the reviewing stand for final dismissal. The staff for today's parade is comprised of Marines from the Recruit Training Regiment. The commander of troops is First Sergeant Mark D. Wright, Company First Sergeant, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. The parade adjutant is Staff Sergeant Andrew Ryan, Senior Drill Instructor, 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. The marching units are now being called to attention, and the adjutant's command, Sound Adjutant's Call, will begin today's parade.
Sound Adjutant's Call!
Marching in today's parade are the 496 graduating Marines from Company L. Recruit training is comprised of subjects required to produce basic Marines who function effectively in garrison, are trained in rudimentary individual field and combat skills, and practice the personal and professional traits which distinguish them as Marines. Examples of these traits are discipline, the achievement of a state of discipline which assures respect for authority, instant, willing obedience to orders, and the self-reliance to maintain and improve those traits which exemplify a Marine. Military bearing, consistently demonstrating military presence and personal awareness, as well as a proper wearing and maintenance of uniforms. Esprit de corps, acquiring the common spirit of the Marine Corps that inspires enthusiasm, devotion, pride, initiative, teamwork, aggressiveness, determination, moral courage, integrity, camaraderie, and the burning desire to work with and for others towards excellence in common goals. For the Marines of Company L, today marks the end of the 12-week recruit training cycle. They have marched countless miles at Camp Pendleton and on this parade deck, and have been trained, as are all Marines, as basic riflemen. In addition, due to an intensive physical training program, their strength and endurance have doubled since their arrival aboard the Recruit Depot. They are Marines, qualified to take their places in the ranks of the world's finest fighting organization. platoons are now being aligned from left to right in order to get them into their exact positions for the parade. The next portion of the parade will be the presentation of the colors, followed by our national anthem. We welcome veterans and members of the armed forces to join us in rendering appropriate honors with a military salute. Gentlemen wearing hats, please remove them in observance of our national anthem. Will the guest please rise? Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. Thank you. Please be seated. Following the command parade rest, the parade adjutant will give the command sound off, which signals the band to parade forward with the assembled Marines while playing military marching music. parade adjutant now presents the assembled command to the commander of troops.
San Diego! Open your return door! Jerry! Get down to 241! All Pleasant! Hey! Beat up Union 45! All present! Attention! To order! Headquarters! Recruit, training, document! Recruit, recruit people! San Diego, California! 1 November 2013! The officer of the day today is Captain Bill. The officer of the day tomorrow is Captain D. I, owner of J.C. Colonel, United States Marine Corps, Commander! Officer! Captain!
At the command, officers center march. All unit commanders and guidon bearers march to the front and center of the formation. Historically, it was at this point that commanding officers would issue orders and instructions to the unit commanders. Following this, the unit leaders would face about, return to their units, and pass the information along to their Marines. Throughout our nation's history, millions of men and women have earned the title United States Marine. Many who have helped shape our history join us here today. In keeping with the tradition of once a Marine, always a Marine, we would like to recognize them. At this time, we ask that those men and women in the audience who have served as Marines, please rise. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in showing our appreciation for their dedicated service to corps and country. Thank you. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the battalion commander for 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Tom Carlos.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lieutenant Colonel Tom Carlos, and I'm the commanding officer for 3rd Recruit Training Battalion. On behalf of the Commanding General for the Marine Corps Recruit Depot San Diego and the Western Recruiting Region, I'd like to welcome all of you to this morning's graduation for LIMA Company. I'd like to start by extending a warm welcome to our Commanding General, Brigadier General Bierman, our Regimental Commander, Colonel Grooney, and today's Parade Reviewing Officer, Sergeant Major Arvizu. Sergeant Major Arvizu previously served here aboard the depot as a drill instructor, senior drill instructor, and chief drill instructor in 1st Battalion, and as a company first sergeant in 2nd Battalion. It's an honor to welcome you back, Sergeant Major, and thank you for joining us today, one of St. Barbara's finest. I'd next like to draw your attention to the ranks of remarkable young men standing behind me. They come from very diverse backgrounds. They come from 15 different countries, as far away as South Korea, Vietnam, England, Colombia, Mexico, and Panama, to as close as right here in San Diego, California. The one thing that brought these 496 young men together is the pursuit of a single goal, and that was to earn the title United States Marine. 3 months ago, they commenced our nation's most difficult entry-level training when they got off those buses and stepped on our historic yellow footprints. The training they have experienced has been focused on instilling our core values of honor, courage, and commitment. They have been challenged mentally, morally, and physically. Despite every obstacle placed before them, they have persevered together as a team and stand before us today having achieved their goal. So if you would, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in putting our hands together to let them know how proud of them we are. It is now my privilege to address our nation's newest Marines. Good morning, Marines! That, ladies and gentlemen, is pure and unbridled pride. And it is well-earned pride, for they have worked extremely hard since they arrived here. But it is also pride that should be shared by every one of you, for if you had not spent your time nurturing them and developing their character, they would never have achieved the success. So on behalf of a grateful Marine Corps, I'd like to thank all of you for the role that you have played in our nation's newest Marines. When you get your Marine back today, you may notice a few changes. For starters, we took all of his hair and he won't be growing it back anytime soon. Depending on how long he stays in the Marine Corps, he may never see it again. He's going to stand a little taller and stick his chest out a little further. He's going to use words like yes ma'am and no sir. In about an hour from now, when you sit down to have your first family meal together, you may notice that he will sit down and silently inhale all of his food in about 5 minutes. Hopefully when you get home, you'll be able to get him to catch up on a couple of nights of long lost sleep. Finally, when he does go out with his friends for the first time, he's going to wear his pants around his waist with a belt like a grown-up. But all joking aside, ladies and gentlemen, what you're going to notice is that your new Marine is going to exude discipline, professionalism, and confidence. These are all hallmarks of a United States Marine, and the men responsible for this incredible transformation are legendary drill instructors. These men work tirelessly, often 100 to 110 hours a week, and it is through their relentless attention to detail, passion for their tradecraft, and unwavering personal example that we are able to achieve these results. So if you haven't done so yet, I highly encourage all of you to find your new Marines' DIs after this ceremony and thank them for a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in putting our hands together to let them know how much we appreciate them. Another group of Marines inextricably linked to our success are our recruiters. Our recruiters are in every corner, in every mall, and in every high school looking for the young men and women that demonstrate the potential to become a United States Marine. One of those young men that completely exceeded all our expectations is today's company honor man, Lance Corporal Tyler Evans. Lance Corporal Evans was recruited out of Corpus Christi, Texas by Staff Sergeant Gilbert Mendez, who just happens to be with us today. Congratulations, Staff Sergeant. Excellent work. The last group I'd like to recognize rarely gets to share in the spotlight, and those are the families of LIMA Company's officers and drill instructors. Like many of you, these Marines have families with young kids in school, and they will often spend every waking moment here aboard the depot during a cycle. So families, were it not for your unwavering support of our Marines and commitment to our families, we would not be able to achieve this essential Marine Corps mission. So ladies and gentlemen, please join me one last time in putting our hands together in appreciation for LIMA Company's families' contributions to our mission. In closing, I'd like to thank all of you for attending this morning's ceremony, and I wish you safe travels home with your new Marine. Now, if you would please excuse me, I'd like to address LIMA Company for one last time. Well, LIMA Company, it's been a long 3 months, and I know many of you thought this day would never get here. I can't begin to tell you how proud I am of each and every one of you, for you have accomplished what few dare to try, and that's earned the title United States Marine. With this title come new responsibilities. Responsibilities earned by countless Marines who have come before us fighting our nation's battles. And I know that you are up for the challenge. As you prepare to leave MCRD San Diego and embark on your new Marine Corps careers, I'd like to leave you with two things. First, never forget your core values. And second, never forget the example of your drill instructors. Both of these will serve you well in your careers as Marines and in life long after. On behalf of the officers, drill instructors, and support personnel of MCRD San Diego, I'd like to wish you fair winds and following seas. Semper Fidelis, Marines.
Now taking his position in the reviewing area is today's parade reviewing officer, Sergeant Major Mark A. Arvizu. He is accompanied by Sergeant Major Peter A. Seow, Sergeant Major, Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Sergeant Major Mark A. Arvizu. Sergeant Major Arvizu enlisted in the Marine Corps in June 1986 and attended recruit training at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Upon completion, he received training at Naval Air Station Millington, where he was designated as a 6152 CH-46 aircraft structural mechanic. On completion of his entry-level training, Sergeant Major Arvizu reported to Marine Corps Air Station New River and was attached to Marine Medium Helicopter Squadron 266. Throughout his career, he has served with distinction in a variety of challenging and demanding assignments. Those assignments include Assistant Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge of the Airframes Division and Aerial Gunner Observer on the UH-TAC-1N Detachment C Marine Aircraft Group 48. Airframes Division Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge and Aerial Gunner Observer on the CH-46 Marine Medium Helicopter Squadron 164, Marine Corps Air Station Tustin. Drill Instructor, Senior Drill Instructor, and Series Gunnery Sergeant, Company D, 1st Recruit Training Battalion, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. Martial Arts Instructor Trainer, Instructional Training Company, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. Staff Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge of the Airframes Division, Marine Medium Helicopter Squadron 161, Marine Corps Air Station Miramar. First Sergeant, Company H, 2nd Recruit Training Battalion, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. First Sergeant, Drill Instructor School, Recruit Training Regiment, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego. First Sergeant, Electronics Maintenance Company, 3rd Maintenance Battalion, Combat Logistics Regiment 35. Sergeant Major, 3rd Battalion, 12th Marines. Sergeant Major, 3rd Reconnaissance Battalion. Sergeant Major, Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron 11. Sergeant Major, 11th Marine Regiment. Throughout his career, Sergeant Major Arvizu has conducted multiple deployments to include overseas deployments with the 11th, 13th, and 15th Marine Expeditionary Units. He was involved in Operation Iraqi Freedom 1 and 2 and Operation Enduring Freedom. In addition, Sergeant Major Arvizu participated in Operation Determined Response for the recovery of the USS Cole, and also conducted humanitarian assistance operations in East Timor. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sergeant Major Arvizu.
Please, we can keep it down.
More than 1 million Marines have been trained here in the past 92 years and have departed San Diego for combat and conflicts around the world, including places whose names are immediately associated with Marine courage and dedication. Names such as Guadalcanal, Tarawa, Iwo Jima, Busan, Incheon, Quezon, Way City, Lebanon, Grenada, Panama, Kuwait, Somalia, Iraq, and our current operations in Afghanistan. This parade deck is rich in history and tradition, and no Marine trained here ever forgets its sights and sounds. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of troops, First Sergeant Marshall B. Wright, and the battalion staff. Marine Band San Diego, Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, California. Ladies and gentlemen, as the national flag passes directly in front of you, please rise. Once it has passed, you may be seated. Series 3241, Chief Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Patrick Boffman. Platoon 3241, Senior Drill Instructor Sergeant Elias Jimenez. Platoon 3242, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Christopher Shreko. Platoon 3243, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Brian J. Coffey. The Regimental Color Guard is led by Regimental Color Sergeant, Drill Instructor Sergeant Michael W. Davidson. Series 3245, Chief Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Andrew Figueroa. Platoon 3245, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant David Buenaventura. Led on the march by Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Anthony Caldwell, Honor Platoon, Platoon 3246. Platoon 3247, Senior Drill Instructor Staff Sergeant Raymond J. Rosane. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of Anchors Aweigh, followed by the Marines hymn. Thank you. Please be seated. The Marine Corps' uniqueness and strength as an elite fighting force is directly attributable to the magnificent efforts of the drill instructors and company officers who train and supervise the recruits. The distinct qualities of spirit and discipline, the heart and soul of every Marine, have been developed, nurtured, and ingrained in recruits through their observance and relationship with their drill instructors and officers. Recruit training is the very foundation of the Corps. Each year, recruit training provides thousands of America's finest young men and women with the basic knowledge and skills to function in a profession characterized by its own set of high values and tough standards. The most important thing we do in the Marine Corps is make Marines. The individual Marine is the Corps. That is what we do here. For the young men graduating today, the long, arduous journey of the last 12 weeks is but a small step into the future of the Marine Corps. As they prepare to fill the ranks of our Corps, they do so with unquestionable support for the high ideals and standards of the United States of America and the United States Marine Corps. Although Company L prepares for their final dismissal from boot camp today, their initial training is not over. After a well-deserved 10 days of leave, these young men will report to the School of Infantry, Camp Pendleton, California, where they will continue to be trained to serve as an effective member of a Marine Rifle Squad. The intense initial training that every Marine undergoes is designed to instill the fundamental premise that every Marine is a rifleman.
Parade! Rest!
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to introduce to you the Marines responsible for ensuring the success of the difficult transition required to become a Marine. The company commander is Captain Derek Eckerly. The company first sergeant is First Sergeant Christopher D. Thomas. The Marines standing in front of the platoons have spent 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the past 3 months training your Marine. Drill instructor duty is extremely demanding and requires enormous personal sacrifice to accomplish the mission of making Marines. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us in a warm round of applause for the officers and drill instructors of Company L.
Company! Captain! Post!
Every Marine is trained first and foremost as a rifleman. Well-trained Marines have the confidence required to deliver accurate fire under the most adverse battle conditions. The Marine Corps Combat Rifle Program includes the requirement for Marines to effectively engage targets at various distances, ranging from 25 to 500 yards, utilizing elementary firing positions and more advanced combat shooting techniques. Please direct your attention to the Marine standing in front of Platoon 3245. This Marine has distinguished himself as the most proficient combat marksman in Company L, obtaining the company high score of 344 points out of the possible 350. His primary marksmanship instructor is Corporal Powell. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing Private Luke Cristando, the most proficient combat marksman of Company L. Physical fitness is a requirement in the life of every Marine. It requires a high degree of personal discipline and dedication to achieve 20 dead hang pull-ups, 100 crunches in 2 minutes, and complete a 3-mile run in 18 minutes or less, for a combined score of 300 points. Please direct your attention to the Marine standing in front of Platoon 3241. This Marine performed 30 dead hang pull-ups, 162 crunches in 2 minutes, and completed a 3-mile run in 17 minutes and 34 seconds on his final physical fitness test. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing PFC Mitchell P. Jeffords, the most proficient Marine of Company L. The next portion of the ceremony will be the traditional function of retiring the guidons. The guidons have been carried by the platoons throughout recruit training and are being retired to symbolize the disbanding of platoons. All similar units in the Marine Corps carry such guidons, which identify the unit and are a source of pride to each individual member. Note that the honor of carrying these guidons is bestowed upon those Marines who displayed outstanding leadership qualities, motivation, and enthusiasm, and were selected as the platoon honormen. recognized as being the most outstanding Marines in their platoons. The platoon honormen compete for the titles of Series and Company honormen, who are considered the top men graduating today, and have demonstrated the highest potential for future leadership and responsibility in the Marine Corps. Upon retirement of the guidons, each honorman will receive a plaque from Marine Corps Association and Foundation, the Corps' preeminent professional association, and the publisher of the Leatherneck and Marine Corps Gazette magazines. The guidons will now be returned to the drill instructors. The honormen will be presented their plaques by the commanding officer of 3rd Recruit Training Battalion, Lieutenant Colonel Tom Carlos, and assisted by the Battalion Sergeant Major, Sergeant Major Jimmy D. Ferris. Ladies and gentlemen, please hold your applause until all the honormen have been introduced. The honorman from platoon 3241 and also the company honorman is Lance Corporal Tyler J. Evans from Ingleside, Texas. Lance Corporal Evans is also the recipient of the Chesty Puller Award for his outstanding meritorious performance while in recruit training. The honorman from platoon 3242 is PFC Jordan D. Kirchner from Oakley, California. The honorman from platoon 3243 is PFC William E. Mena from Anaheim, California. The honorman from platoon 3245 is Private Blake M. Bullock from Muncie, Indiana. The honorman from platoon 3246 is PFC Jonathan J. Velarde from Newberry Park, California. The honorman from platoon 3247 and also the series honorman is PFC Christopher A. Ponce from Norwalk, California. Ladies and gentlemen, the honorment of Company L.
Company first, Sergeant.
Moreno! Veranstalter! Das Match! Ja! Platoon!
The senior drill instructors will now dismiss their platoons. This will be the last order the new Marines receive from their drill instructors, and probably the most welcome order they have received while in boot camp.
Incident at Los Angeles International Airport, there are expected flight delays. We recommend all those traveling through LAX contact airline officials to confirm any flight delays. Thank you for visiting MCRD San Diego. Please travel home safely.
I'm supposed to tell you what my wife, Bev, would like to get a copy of.
Absolutely.
From your wife, however they do it.
Exactly.
So